On the 39th episode of the Vero Beach Social Media Pop-Up Podcast, we have Alex Martezian, insurance agent with Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. We talk about all things insurance, why you need it, how he sells it in Vero, and a little Super Bowl prediction. Stay tuned, give it a listen, you're going to love it, I guarantee it. Here we go. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Vero Beach Social Media Pop-Up Podcast. I have one of my best friends in the entire world here. This is Alex Martezian. He is an insurance agent with Farm Bureau Insurance, and I just want to welcome you to the podcast, man.
Best friend, okay, I must say that to everybody.
One of mine.
One of the best friends.
I have a lot of
That's every guest, that's every guest.
A lot of guests. Very few do I dislike.
There you go.
Because if I did, they wouldn't be here.
Would not be here.
That's right. That's
exactly.
Right. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about insurance. Number one, I want to get educated on it because I still feel very ignorant in a lot of the insurance parallels. And I want to talk to you about marketing, of course, because that's what we do on this podcast. And I wouldn't be surprised if we slip in a little bit about some football,
okay,
maybe some baseball, basketball.
We can do that. I'll be here for another 2 hours.
All right.
Now for that.
Sounds great. So the first thing I want to ask you about is Farm Bureau Insurance. Yeah. So you're an insurance agent. Talk about what you do for Farm Bureau.
Yeah, so as a pretty much an agent for Farm Bureau, we do everything from home, auto, commercial, life insurance. Those are really the big four that we sell. Other than that, that's pretty much it. From my job in itself, obviously I'm out selling, I'm out meeting people. We really try to keep it local in Indian River County. With Farm Bureau, there's a different office, different agency for each and every county, right? So we're Indian River County. There's a different agency manager, different agents in Brevard, Port St. Lucie. So I'm really the Indian River County part of Farm Bureau.
So do you have any policies outside of Indian River County?
We do. Yes,
okay.
me personally, yes. Really that comes off of like referrals and things like that. I'll take them. Because again, I'm not going to turn down free business, right?
It's probably good. That's good practice.
Good practice, yeah. Right? I mean, at a certain point in River County, you got to grow outside of that at some points, right? But yeah.
So of the four, which one do you sell the most?
The most is probably auto and home, just because that's really price driven, right? People want to get quotes for that. People are always shopping around those. Things like commercial insurance, again, not everyone owns a business. Life insurance, not everyone finds the need for it. So really it's auto and home because those are the ones that's price driven and the rates have been increasing over the past few years.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room with home insurance. What the hell's going on with home insurance? Is it going up? Is it coming back down? Are we getting more insurers? What's happening here? As
of right now, as of 2025 and even 2026, there are a lot more companies coming into the home insurance market. As you know, 2022, 2023, when your rates were doubling, tripling every other year. A lot of companies are pulling out. It just wasn't profitable for insurance companies. Now that it's profitable, we're seeing companies come in, not to say, I like to tell people, prices may not be coming down, but they're not going to increase to the way we've seen it, right? With the more companies coming in, companies will try to be more and more competitive to try to get the price down to obviously get more business.
You actually helped us get our home insurance down like half the price.
Yeah.
So full disclosure, we were paying $3,500, $3,600 a year or something like that. You called me up and said, hey, would you mind if I quoted you for home? And I kind of laughed because I'm like, yeah, what is it going to be, $4,000?
Yeah.
They came back with the same exact benefits that I was getting for $3,500 or $3,600 for like $1,800.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah. So again, it really depends on the company, right? For instance, like Florida Farm Bureau, which is who you're insured with right now, they have really good deals right now for newer homes, newer roofs, right? On the flip side, if you were to come to me with the 1980s, frame home, 05 roof, they're not even going to touch you, right? Which is why you have to be diligent of which companies you're working with. Every company rates a little bit differently. Farm Bureau, we incentivize new roofs, right? Because most of the time when the hurricane comes, first thing to go is the roof, right? So usually when that's protected and that's newer, you'll find a little bit of a better rate. And then on the opposite side, there's some companies who, want roof year or construction year, right? So each company does it a little bit differently. But yeah, that's one of the factors for your low rate is you had a newer home. So what was it, 2019?
Ours is like 2005.
2000, but you have a brand new roof.
Yeah, brand new.
And so they were going off of that brand new roof. And so that's why we were able to write you and it was so cheap.
All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is auto insurance. Why is there such a discrepancy with auto insurance? I see some people that pay $80 a month and I see some people that pay $500 a month. What the hell's going on with that?
Can we be honest?
Yeah, no, I want you to be perfectly honest. Yeah.
Well, so there's what people don't understand, that credit is taken into effect of that. Obviously, claims plays a factor. Zip code plays a factor. For instance, you paying $200 a month now in Vero, where if you're in Miami or Tampa, you're paying $300-400 a month, right? And that's not crazy, but it's just where you are located at, things of that nature. But I mean, again, from a insurance aspect, in terms of like a statistical aspect, certain cars are going to be worth more. They cost more, right? They do research on certain model types are easier to break into, right? They charge a little bit more, right? So again, that's another thing. Every company has its own little whereabouts of what they want, what they like, what their risk appetite is. But again, for the most part, especially here in Florida, uninsured motorist is crazy in terms of expense, which is why most people don't have it, which they should. Bodily injury liability is another one because everyone's sue happy here in Florida. It's another reason why that's also expensive. And then collision and comprehensive coverage, your full coverage, if you say for the vehicle, is kind of fluctuant on vehicle type, model type, and then age of the vehicle. For instance, for home and auto, right? Your home should be covered on a replacement cost value, right? Just because you paid $200,000 for your home 20 years ago, well, now it's worth more than that. It's going to cost more to replace that, right? So that's going to go up year after year. Auto insurance, your vehicle's based on a cash value, on an actual cash value basis, right? So similar thing, you know, you buy your car for 30 grand, a year later it's worth 20, right? You drive it off the lot. Well, total loss, gets to an accident, they're going to give you 20,000 instead of the 30 that you paid because that's what it's worth at the time of the accident.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha. Another thing I hear about with auto insurance that I don't quite understand is I talk to people, they say, well, Florida's a no-fault state.
Okay.
So does that mean that if somebody hits me, I have to go through my insurance and does my premium go up? What happens there? What's a no-fault state mean?
So they're referring to PIP coverage, which is PIP, personal injury protection coverage, right? Basically what that means is if you get injured in an auto accident, you yourself, whether you're at fault or the other party is at fault, your $10,000 PIP coverage that you have on every insurance policy in Florida, that's what comes out first, up to $10,000 of your own PIP coverage, right? Your no-fault coverage. After that, now it really gets to the brass tacks of, okay, well, they're at fault. They hit you. Now their liability claim or their liability coverage will then help pay you out. If they have none, it runs out. That's where your uninsured motorist comes into play. So that's really what that means by no fault in terms of just injury wise. Your $10,000 is for you and only you. And that's the first one to come out in terms of an injury.
And that $10,000 is required coverage?
Required coverage.
Okay.
Right.
To drive a vehicle, I got $10,000.
So there's, and it's, I'm going to tell you, you're going to think it's crazy. The only things you need to be legal in the state of Florida is your PIP coverage and $10,000 worth of property damage. You don't need liability. You don't need obviously full coverage if you own the vehicle. You don't need uninsured motorists. You don't need medical payments. All you need is $10,000 worth of property damage and PIP. That's it. Gotcha. Right. So when you're driving around and you see all these uninsured drivers, really uninsured can mean they don't even have liability driving around. Right. Which is the reason for the increases in uninsured motorist liability. Right. When, you know, that's pretty much the reasoning for all of it.
Gotcha. Let's shift a little bit. I want to go to life. All right. What, you got a phone call?
No, I'm just it's like slipping out of my...
Thought you had a phone call. I figured you were selling a policy.
Yeah, right.
All right. So life insurance. Yeah. So I'm married. I've got 3 kids. Of course, we both have life insurance. We want to take care of the kids and all that. Talk to me first about the difference between term and whole life insurance. Give me just the Reader's Digest version of the differences between those two. Yeah,
so the basic of it is you can say renting a policy versus owning a policy, right? Renting a policy term, right, whether it's a 20-year term, you pay a set amount of premium, does not change, right, does not move around for, let's just say 20 years. Well, at year 21, if you're still alive, that policy's ends, right? So
it's rented, very, and your term is up.
Done. Your term is up. Now, obviously, if you're still healthy, you can get another term, of course, obviously, rate's going to rate you at your age 20 years later, your health 20 years later, which again, most people deteriorate in health over time, not get healthy. Well, other than you got.
Not me, I got healthy, bro.
You got a lot healthier.
You should be giving me money for my term policy.
Money back, exactly. So, that's really term, and it is very good because it's pennies on the dollar. It's great when you're young. You're starting out, you have, young kids, or you just got a mortgage. It's really good for that short-term protection, right? Now, when you switch into permanent insurance, like whole life insurance, universal insurance, that's more of, obviously, you own that policy. That's going to accumulate in cash value over time. And again, similar thing. Once you get rated at that age on the front end, your price will never change, right? Whether you got it at your 35 and you're 80, right? Nothing's going to change. Nothing's ever going to change. And at that point, you're accumulating cash value over time, and which is, again, kind of the perks that people like to use. You could borrow from it. You can, in 20 years, you say, hey, I don't want it anymore. You can just take all the cash value you gain from it. Or what most people do, you just let it keep riding, obviously, and growing in death benefit and the policy.
Gotcha. Now, this is a loaded question, and certainly one that I don't think most agents would like to answer, but should everyone have a life policy?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Even if it's minimal, you could say everyone, if you have somebody depending on you, spouse, kids, you have a mortgage, that right there, I mean, that's the question. Do you want to leave something for, the person taking over, your kids, your spouse? You're going to leave your mortgage to your spouse. You don't want to do that, right?
Gotcha.
Because most people buy, again, the average person is based off of either two incomes or there's a breadwinner, right? In that aspect, and if you're relying on somebody, you should have some sort of life insurance to make sure it's protected. And again, from 20 to 50 term life, it's again, pennies on the dollar, right? Yeah. Very easy to afford.
Yeah, the first policy I ever had, I was maybe 30 years old, and I can't remember the number, maybe 100 grand, 150 grand, but the term policy was literally like $7 a month.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, it was less than this cup of coffee.
Yeah,
it was
nothing.
Super cheap.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I've built on that because I had a term and then I got another term and then now I have a whole thanks to you, and it's like, I don't think my wife should know that we have all these policies on me. This is kind of scary.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true. But yeah, I just remember getting the first term policy and being shocked at the price, at how cheap it was.
Yeah.
All right. So we missed one.
Commercial insurance.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about commercial.
Yeah.
All right.
Fun.
So, I own a business.
Yeah.
What do I need insurance for?
Yeah. Well, for instance, like I'm assuming when you rented this building out, well, I'll ask you, were you required to carry some sort of liability policy from the landlord?
Yep.
Right there. All right, that's your general liability. All they want to make sure is I come here, I walk through here, I slip and fall. I'm not only going after the building owner, I can now come after your policy, right? Another one that's pennies on the dollar, might be $300-$400 for the year, nothing. But with that, you have a lot of expensive cameras, you have stools and a bunch of other random stuff here. That's your business personal property. If you want that to be covered, obviously you can also add that along with the policy. Now, into a more broader aspect, the building owner, I'm assuming he has liability for this parking lot and the land that he owns and the building that he owns. He also wants to make sure that his property is covered, similar to home insurance, but it's the building in itself. And yeah, I mean, everyone should be carrying some sort of general liability. Commercial vehicle insurance is another huge one. Like I said, commercial property, errors and omissions, if you're doing that type of work, professional liability. I mean, you're either required to have it or you want to make sure you have it.
I feel like you can insure just about anything.
Yeah, of course.
It's just how much risk do you want to mitigate?
Yeah.
Does that, I mean, kind
That's
of
the entire thing. These cameras are worth quite a bit of money, I assume.
So yeah, my wife and I were just talking about how expensive these cameras are. Like I said, I've got like 20 grand in cameras here, in just this production alone. So how do I go about, do I just add that as an addendum to my general liability policy? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah. So again, if you have some sort of commercial package policy, adding it as, it'd be more under, like your business personal property, and then wanting it to schedule it, right? Not just adding it, right? And again, it really depends on the company, depends on the type of endorsements, but scheduling it, meaning again, you paid X amount for it. It's valuable. Something happens to it. You want to replace that. It's not just a camera that you got from Walmart. It's an expensive camera. You want to make sure you're scheduling it, getting some sort of receipt or appraisal for it to make sure that it's covered to how you want it to be covered.
Gotcha. All right. So those are the four lines of insurance.
Easy.
How the hell did you get into all this?
Yeah. When I graduated from college, the first job I got was State Farm as a customer service rep, just a CSR. Rep.
Okay.
Very simple to get your 440, which is your customer service license. And that pretty much kickstarted my career to insurance, made me learn all about the coverages and the systems and all that fun stuff. After that, I got in touch with my boss now, which Calvin.
Oh, yeah.
And position to open up for me to move to Vero and kind of start as my own agent here at Farm Bureau. So that's pretty much how it got started from that aspect.
So did you, and again, I don't know the numbers. You had a 440 and now you have an 880.
Yeah.
A 220.
Yeah,
It goes down.
so it goes down.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. It goes down. Is there a 110?
No, I don't know.
Or
Maybe
55?
I wish. I'll have that. Yeah.
All right. So you have a 220 now.
220. Yep.
When did you get your 220?
That was right before I started with Farm Bureau because it was required, right? Okay. So again, now I'm actively selling. I'm going out and I'm selling it under myself, right? Rather than being a customer service person and selling it under somebody else.
So you leave State Farm.
Yep.
Oh, you said you graduated college. What was your degree in?
Actuarial science, which was just statistics to be an actuary.
What's an actuary?
So an actuary.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions for you, Alex.
An actuary is pretty much the people that make the rates for insurance companies, right? So in my college life, I was supposed to be a desk person, someone who sat in the back, wrote down numbers, and did all the computer stuff to get the rates for your auto insurance. So when your rates go up, don't attack the agent, right? Don't attack me.
Attack the
actuary, right? Because they're the one making the rates and figuring out why the price is what the price is.
So you don't have any interest in doing that as a career?
Well, I did until I got my job now. There's no turning back.
So it sounds like you've got a little background in this. When I come to you for an auto policy or my commercial policy or whatever, do you already kind of have an idea of what the premium's going to be and all that just because of your background?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you why the rate is what the rate is off of just, again, going back to statistics and an actuary, right? You're trying to make the company profitable to make sure that the rates are what they need to be, right? So there's not a loss. So when rates go up or there's something wrong, and when I first started as an agent, that was my first question, like rate goes up or the rate's this, or like you said, why is this car rated different from, this other person driving the same exact car, right? And that all goes back to, like I said,
because they got a 600 credit score and this other one's got an 800 credit score, which is still bizarre to me because the bill has to be paid.
Bill's got to be paid no matter what, but it's just, again, statistically speaking, people with higher credit scores are less likely to file claims. And that's all it is, right? Who's less likely to file claims?
Interesting.
Right? I mean, I know someone with the 2024 roof that just filed a claim, right?
Really?
But I got people with 2002 roofs still that they're just going to pay it themselves, right? So
but those are anomalies.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. It's, again, insurance is the law of large numbers, right? So again, it's almost like you're saying you haven't had an accident in 10 years. Why is your rate going up? Well, that's because people around you keep getting into accidents, right? So
tell my neighbors to drive safe.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go.
That is it.
We got Halloween coming up.
Yep.
And I'm going to go trick or treat, drive safe. That's going to be my message.
That's it. So you yell at your neighbors and you yell at the actuaries, right? You don't yell at me.
Yeah. Don't yell at the agent.
Don't yell at the agent.
The tip here is don't yell at the agent.
Don't yell at the agent.
All right. So you leave State Farm.
Yeah.
You have your 220.
Yep.
You get hooked up with Calvin at Farm Bureau.
Yep.
All right. They give you a desk. And then what?
Go sell. That's it.
Okay.
Right. So the first thing I started doing was like networking. I was given a small book of business, kind of just clients that I was kind of taking over for. So trying to make meetings with them, sit down with them, and then kind of try to, get referrals off of them, right? And try to build those relationships to grow. But then, like I said, the first thing I was doing was networking, which I was new to Vero. So I didn't know anybody, all right? I just went to a local chamber of commerce. I looked on Facebook. B and I that we're both in.
My last guest was Ange Murray, and we talked about.
Oh, there you go. Oh, nice. That must have been a fun one. She's fun. I love her. She's awesome. I actually just saw it online. I applied for my membership before I even joined, and Brian Cook called me.
Oh, you applied before you came?
Yeah.
And visited.
And Brian was like, "Hey, is this the right chapter? You haven't even shown up here." I was like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to network, And so that's kind of how it all started. Then I met with you and Rob, and that you guys, with the help of you guys, helped me grow and reach out to even more networking groups and more people to talk to.
So it sounds like word of mouth has been kind of what's kicked off your
That's pretty
career.
Much all I do. Yeah, word of mouth, referral base.
Have you tried other marketing tactics? Like I know for a while there you were doing a little email push and.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That worked a little bit. It was really just, again, staying on top of it, which is hard to do, staying on top of it, which is why your services are great because some people don't need to stay on top of it, right?
I mean, yeah, most of my clients don't even know how to log into their Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that that's not the case for you, but
yeah.
I was curious if there were any, other than word of mouth, like what other marketing tactics have you taken to help grow your business? Or has Calvin done any of this or any of the other agents in the office?
No, I mean, the thing with Farm Bureau is we are very I mean, again, just as culturally wise, we're very conservative. So we don't really post ads. We don't buy leads. We don't do anything like that. So it's really just, trying to be a part of the community and just going off from there. Just maybe sponsoring some local events. But
I know Calvin's got a big banner out at the clay shooting
thing,
place.
right?
Yeah.
So, but that's really it. I mean, I should get into it, especially now that I've grown quite a bit and I feel like I'm in a position now where I can do a little bit more marketing. But yeah, I just,
Well, you've got a new person in your office as a 440, right?
A new assistant, yes. Yeah, Addison. So we just hired her a few months ago and she's been a big help. And so now that she's kind of on board, it helps me. So I stopped the marketing or the networking for a little bit just because, once that ball started rolling, it was hard to, do all these different things. So now that she's back, I can kind of start with getting out a little bit more and then maybe even doing a few more things to drive more business in.
I've got a buddy of mine that gives me this analogy all the time because he has the same problem where he spends a lot of time selling and then he sold and he spends a lot of time fulfilling the sale and then his selling drops. And so he equates it to a farmer. He's like, you grow the crops and then you got to go pick the crops and then you got to grow the crops again. And it's very, very difficult to juggle both of those at the same time.
It is. And that's what was happening, which is the reason for taking kind of an investment to hire that help to say, look, like we need to be honest, because you're right. I was selling, I was going out and then service drop, right? Renewals would come and I wasn't on my A game and I wasn't, reaching out a month before and I wasn't, kind of being that same customer service type. And I saw that and I was like, you know what? I need to do a little bit better, right? Let me hire an assistant to kind of help out with that so that I can still keep the same focus and mentality of selling.
So what does that customer service look like? So a renewal comes up. What are you doing to prepare the policy holder for the renewal? Are you calling them? Do you send them a card? Do you just wait for them to yell at you because they got the renewal notice and it's expensive?
That's what we try not to do. We try to not do that, right? So 45 days in advance, we're trying to send an email out. Just so, hey, quick reminder, you're going to be getting something in the mail. It's going to be a renewal page, right? Leaving it that. 30 days out, we'll usually make a phone call, try to set up a meeting, whether it's on the phone or in person. And then 15 days out, if they haven't responded to those two, we'll send a text, right? And if they don't answer after those 3 tries, well then
they're going to get a letter in the mail.
Then they're going to let it, yeah, exactly.
Not from you, but from
someone else.
The insurance company.
Yeah, not through me personally, but yeah.
Okay.
So we try to sell, and majority of people, you call them, they say, sounds good, thanks, leave me alone. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, and the reality is you're just giving them a warning. You're the messenger. You can't do anything about it. Whatever the number is, right?
Yeah.
Got it. I'm just thinking kind of out loud on if there are other things that you can do. And it sounds like you're kind of covering every base. I mean, email, text, phone calls. I mean, like carrier pigeon. What else can you do?
Yeah, well, in terms of just alert, because that's the biggest reason people switch and people look to switch is sure, price is one, but it's really customer service. Like as long as I feel like, especially in any sort of sales and sales where, that is somewhat price driven in insurance because everyone just wants kind of the cheapest rate. I feel like as long as you're kind of giving the warning, you're showing that you care and you're trying to do what's best for the client and they feel that, right? And they understand that you're doing what you're doing to make sure that everything's okay. They're more willing to stay and work with you, right? And obviously give referrals and things like that, which is.
Well, I was going to ask, other than price, why would they stick around? And you kind of answered that.
Yeah. Again, going back, that's why people leave. It's like, hey, I've been calling this person for 3 weeks and I'm calling an 800 number and I'm calling my agent who lives in Texas and I don't know what's going on. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll tell you, I'll help you out with that.
Right.
And that's usually, but that's like every business.
Right.
That's like a lot of businesses out there.
Gotcha. All right, so let's get back to this. So you leave State Farm, you got your 220, you come to Farm Bureau, you're doing really well. You hire somebody that has their 440. How does that work? Can this assistant now get their 220 and would they work under you or what? Kind of what's the hierarchy look like?
Yeah, I mean, she can still sell as a 440 under me as long as I'm in the office and she's in the office. There really wouldn't be a need for her to get her 220 unless she wanted to go, work in a different office.
Okay.
So. I mean, she's good because she can, like I said, she can still sell policies and stuff under a 440.
Gotcha. I want to shift a little bit to, working in Vero Beach. Now, you've only ever sold insurance in Vero.
Marketed, yeah.
Marketed, yeah.
Networked here in Vero, yeah.
Right. What is it like? Well, I guess I don't know if you'd be able to answer this, but like, what's the difference between marketing here in Vero Beach, which I look at as an incredibly tight community? Everybody knows everybody. Word of mouth is king. That versus, let's say, selling in Orlando or Miami or Tampa or Jacksonville, something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say it's the same kind of mentality. I mean, even if I was in one of those, again, my biggest thing is relationships are the key to the building base, right? So whether I'm in Vero or like whether I'm in Vero or in Miami, right? As long as, you're taking care of the client, you're again trying to build that relationship, and you're not just a phone call you make to give me money and that's it, right? So I don't think it really matters where you're at. Sure, I mean, there's probably more prospects, right? But again, it comes down to the brass tacks of you're going to make the most out of wherever you're at, right? So whether I'm there, here, or in Los Angeles, New York, it's all kind of the same mindset.
It's all insurance.
It's all insurance.
Yep. And it's all customer service.
It's all customer service based, right? Again, from that, I have clients down in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. I have clients in Tampa, St. Pete. And so again, from that, again, you just naturally, organically build even more relationships, right? So now I work with lenders down in Fort Lauderdale, which is huge, right? So all that kind of plays a part. So even though I'm not advertising, it's still, you do a good job, people are going to find out, right?
We talk about that in youth sports all the time. Travel baseball is a big thing. And I'm not necessarily opposed to travel baseball, but I am opposed to it when you're 8 years old or 10 years old, right? And I always say, if your kid's good, they're going to get found. They're going to get found, right? So it's kind of the same thing as an insurance agent. Like, listen, if you do a good job, you're going to get found. People will call you and you'll get the phone calls. I want to talk about another thing. Your age. You're not a seasoned insurance agent. Most agents I see are, and I'm not saying they're old, I'm saying they're seasoned, but 50s, 60s, 70s.
That's a good way to put it.
What's it like being an insurance agent in your 20s? There can't be very many of you that exist around here. What are the pros and cons to being a young insurance agent?
It's awesome. It's all pros.
It's all pros.
Right, it's all pros.
No cons.
I don't see, so before they hired me, they actually brought up, because I don't even think I was 21 yet when they hired me. And they were like, what are you, like, what's your mindset of like, people aren't going to trust you, they don't know enough. And I don't see it at that at all. If you hold yourself to a certain standard, I want to take Jalen Hurts out for a minute, but hold yourself to the standard's a standard where if again, you're building the trust, building a relationship, people are going to trust you because again, you're the expert, no matter you were here for 50 years or 6 months, I did my research, I got everything done. And what I'd say the best pro is even the older people, they want somebody young. They want somebody kind of starting out that's going to show them effort, right? Because going back to the age-old insurance agent thing, there's a lot of people that are kind of just sitting on what they have, and just letting things renew.
And they're not hustling.
Right? And it's like everything in life. It's like sports. Just because you had a good year doesn't mean you get to keep your job next year, right? You got to prove it, right? And I think that's the reason a lot of people like the younger agent or the younger person, the aggressive, the hungry person,
That's like the perfect segue into sports.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So Nick Sirianni,
love him.
Right? Eagles won the Super Bowl last year. They reveal the banner this year, and Sirianni says, "We're not going out for that."
Yeah.
And everybody asks him, "Well, why wouldn't you go out to see your banner?" And he says, "No. That was last year's team. We haven't accomplished anything this year. This is week 1. We haven't done a thing." And so again, like if you have that mindset as an agent, I imagine that you're going to be relatively successful.
Sure.
That, hey, I had a great year last year, but that doesn't mean I'm going to have a great year this year.
No.
And that doesn't mean that those renewals are automatic, and it doesn't mean I'm always going to have this business. It's a really good mindset, I think, in business in general.
Sure, and I agree. I mean, like look at college football right now. Look at all the buyouts happening. It's like James Franklin, $47 million. It's like it almost seems like these guys get paid a lot of money, and we see it in sports all the time.
Hey man, the greatest job in the world is to be a college football head coach that gets fired.
Just get fired. All that buyout money, and that's what we see is like, once you get that big contract, it's like, oh, okay, like I'm set. I don't need to work hard though.
Did you ever hear the story about when Ed Ordron got let go of LSU? And he goes into the AD's office and they say, "Hey Ed, you had a rough year, I hate to break it to you, but we got to let you go. But the good news is, we owe you, I forget the number, $18 million. And Ed says, $18 million? He's like, all right, which door do you want me to leave out of? Right? It's like,
I mean, at that point, it might be a little bit different. Like I saw James Franklin go on College Football Game Day last Saturday, and he's like, I can't wait to start coaching. It's like, okay, you could take a break.
Yeah, you got
47 million, dude. I think you can take a little break.
Yeah, you might want to take the season off.
Take a gap year. You're good, you know. Yeah, but again, that's a good mindset. People hear that. ADs at other programs hear that, and they're like, okay.
Well, obviously he's not in it for the money. I mean, he's already got $47 million, which is enough, for generations. But he wants, he likes his job.
Yeah, legacy too. I mean, that's another big thing is legacy.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to go out like that. Penn State.
I wouldn't want to go out.
No,
like that.
That was bad.
I mean, that's
bad news bears.
Yeah.
I need a. We're gonna wrap this up soon.
Okay.
I need a Super Bowl prediction.
It's October. I'm not going to say the Colts. If that's what you're trying to say,
full disclosure, it's October 22nd when we're filming this.
Yeah.
So we're heading into week 7 or 8. We're heading into week 8.
8, yeah.
Yep.
We're heading to week 8.
And I need a Super Bowl prediction.
Well, I'm going to go Eagles coming out of the NFC.
Okay.
I mean, I think they're going to figure it out. I think they're going to do it better. Kansas City looks a lot better now, but it's not going to be Kansas City, Philly again. It's just not going to happen. I don't know, I'll go like Buffalo.
Okay, cut. We're done with the podcast.
I'll go the easy Buffalo.
Bro, my Colts are the best team in football right now. Right now.
Right now they are.
At 11:45 a.m. on October 22nd.
6-1? 6-1. That's the best record, yeah.
Number 1 seed in the AFC.
Daniel Jones looks good, man.
Indiana Jones. Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor looks good.
My goodness.
Yeah.
What happened to this team?
Yeah. Shane Steichen is a great coach.
Nick Sirianni's a great coach. And for those of you listening if you're still listening, I'm stunned. If you're still listening and you don't know anything about football, the Colts head coach came from Philly, and the Philly head coach came from Indianapolis. Yep. So, we kind of just traded guys.
Shane Steichen's, I love Shane Steichen.
Yeah, well, I love him right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah,
6-1. What have you done for me lately? I love you.
Yeah.
And we have the World Series coming up.
Yeah.
And
I'll just pick the Dodgers for you.
Thanks.
Philly's got creamed by him. I mean, I'll just pick the Dodgers to win.
Man, who's got it better than me right now?
Right now, you're good. Right now, you're living high.
I am a New York Rangers fan, and they suck.
Yeah, well, it's early.
Yeah, it's early. Have they scored a home goal yet? I think maybe they just did in their 4th home game. They finally popped a goal. But
you got a long season ahead of that for that.
And basketball?
Basketball just started
Sixers?
last night. So if they stay healthy, they could win the East. But
my Pacers could.
Your Pacers could. Your Pacers could do something.
They did last year?
They did.
Bro. Who's got it better than me?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes.
Who's got it better than Indy fans?
Indy fans are looking good.
Even
Indiana.
Indiana football, number 2 in the country.
Football is huge.
I'm a Florida State fan, but I refer to Cincinnati.
You want Norvell gone?
I'm back in Indiana. Anyway, Indiana's number 2.
Indiana's number 2, man. Yeah, and they just gave him all that money. They were like, James Franklin's gone. Nah,
we got to secure him.
You're staying here.
He could end up being a Nittany Lion.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We got way off track. I knew we were going to do it. I prefaced, by the way, again, if you're still listening, I told you we were going to get into sports.
Good.
And I was damn
That's why I was here.
All right. So I'm done with sports.
Okay.
Back to insurance. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's what we do. Okay. I think, like you said, we do a lot of word of mouth, but I really want to start potentially soon get involved in advertisement and things like that, just to kind of hit the next, next level, the next step of the pyramid
well, this is going to reach like at least a dozen people. So how about you tell all the people listening,
nice.
How do they call you for a quote? How do they get a hold of you? What do they do? Yeah,
well, you can look us up on our website, Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. Put in your zip code. It'll come to, if you're in Vero Beach or Indian River County, it'll come to our office. You'll see me, Alex Martezian on Facebook. You just reach out to me like that. I don't use Facebook very much, but I'll be there. And yeah.
Do they have a phone number? Can they call?
772-562-4119.
562-4119.
19, yeah.
All right, I have it in my phone.
You got me saved.
I actually have your cell phone.
My cell.
Yeah. Well, I won't give that out.
Everyone calls my cell anyways.
That's what I do.
Yeah. So
I should have your cell as Florida Farm Bureau.
Yeah, no, you don't.
But that's it, man.
Relationships, right?
That's right. That's right. Nothing else?
No, we're good.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Again, if you're still here, I'm stunned. But my friend Alex, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And we're excited about this episode of the Vero Beach Social Media Pop-Up Podcast. Stay tuned because next month we will have another exciting guest.
Nice.